we get introduced to a new character. But you know how these alternate universe works. You get introduced, grand opening, grand closing. Never to hear from him again. Not always, because Rachel Summers did survive. Support the comic industry by visiting ULCS. My name is Dorian. This is SCM Comics. We are continuing our coverage of Age of Revelation with Laura Kinney, Sabretooth. Number 1. Our story starts off in Philadelphia in the Revolution territories. I get sick of saying that eventually. And we have Laura Kinney narrating, and she's pretty much in a nutshell saying how ever since Revolution took over, they send all kinds of assassins, mutant assassins, regular assassins, just assassins. And it's her job to make sure that they're taken out. And then we see 2 people sneaking into the Philadelphia Naval Yard. And we see that is Laura. Not really. Look at the scars. That is Gabby, all grown up. And she's with Dakin. I know his name's Akihiro, but for the longest, I called him Dakin. Everybody calls him Dakin. The Helverine. I heard that series is pretty good. Maybe one day we'll cover it on the channel, but we ain't got the time right now. So Gabby is talking cash money about her sister, and it's Dakin who is the level-headed one. Talk about role reversals, boy. Anyway, he keeps saying it's not about Laura. We're here for Alex. So she comes down and she's like, you're right. And got Laura narrating, and she goes, Gabby and Akihiro once were my whole world. But things have changed as we see Laura walks out in her Sabretooth costume. And Gabby's like, well, isn't it Sabretooth? So Laura's like, that name doesn't mean Victor Creed anymore, Gabby. When Zane took his father's code name, he wore it with pride. And now I use it to keep Zane's memory alive. Now, if you're wondering who the hell Zane is, I was thinking the same thing. And I tore up looking for when this bastard child of Sabretooth was introduced in the comics. And come to find out, it's right now. Because he was made up for the story. And Gabby isn't really pissed about that. She's more pissed about them joining forces with Revelation. Like, that really pissed her off. So Laura's like, yeah, you said this all before. And Gabby's like, and I'm going to keep saying it until it gets through that thick adamantium skull of yours. So again, Dakin tries to diffuse the situation. It's like, hey, we just need to be civil. Again, we're here for Alex. And I guess Dakin has some pheromones that could calm somebody down. But Gabby's like, you can stop using that because I'm always and forever going to be pissed until this woman changes her mind. So all of a sudden you hear somebody say, Mommy. Laura turns around and we see a little blonde-headed kid. And he's like, Uncle Aki, Auntie Gabby. And he goes, Mommy, can I? And Laura's like, go ahead. And he runs to him and they give him a big hug. So Dakin gives him a toy car. And Gabby is still giving her sister the blues. Talking about, I was surprised when he sent us a message. I didn't think you'll ever let us see him. And then Laura's like, truth be told, Gabby, I called because I need a favor from you. And Gabby still giving her the blues like, oh, what does the almighty seraph of the Great Revolution needs? And she's like, I need you to take Alex with you out of these territories. So Alex hears it and is like, no, Mom, I don't want to leave you. And she's like, you have to, Alex. Like, I can't always protect you here. And Laura pretty much lets Alex and Gabby and Dakin know that there's somebody always coming for Revolution. There's always some assassin coming for them. And eventually there's going to be an assassin that's just going to be a little bit too much. And she wants to make sure that Alex is okay, especially since he doesn't have any powers. So Gabby's still giving her a hard time. And Dakin's like, no problem. We'll take care of him. Again, the Helverine is the level-headed one. So then Gabby is still giving Laura the business. And she goes, you got a lot of nerve talking about family all of a sudden. The minute you hooked up with Zane, you turned your back on us. And Laura's like, you know what? I'm tired of you getting complaining. You leave Zane's name out your mouth. He sacrificed enough for all mutants. So then Gabby's like, oh, you want me to keep his name out my mouth? Why don't you come do something about it? And Laura's like, you really want to do this? And Gabby was like, I've been wanting to do this for years. And they both popped out their claws. And they get to it. Almost like a regular Wolverine and Sabretooth fight. About less blood, though. Dakin tries to get in the way and tries to calm down the situation. Unfortunately, he got two in the way and he got slashed by Laura. So Gabby's yelling at Laura, like, what the hell's wrong with you? And Laura's like, what? His healing factor kick in. And Gabby's like, unfortunately, his healing factor is already taxed because he uses that to try to keep the Helverine at bay. Anyway, Laura does a half-ass apology to Dakin, still gets into it with Gabby. Alex comes and hugs his mama because he doesn't want to leave her, but she's like, you got to go with your aunt and uncle. Trust me, it's for the best. So they take Alex and they take off. But unfortunately, they were being watched by Hellion. That's right, Laura's old squeeze has been watching the situation, and he radios in to Revolution and lets them know that one of your Seraphins is doing something that she shouldn't be doing. So Revolution's like, you know what, leave her alone, but come report back to me. But then we come back to Revolution's palace and we see Laura walking and she bumps into Wolverine, her father. And she knows that pretty much Revolution has done all kind of stuff to his brain, which that right there should make her not be on Revolution's side. But hey, I'm not writing the story. She's trying to talk to Wolverine. She's like, hey Logan, it's been a long day. I just want to go back to my room and lay down. She tries to walk by and he grabs her arm. And then we cut to Revolution. That's where Wolverine took her. And Revolution wants to have a conversation with Laura. Calls her Sabretooth. So it's like, so I hear you sent Alex away out of the territory. And then Laura's like, how'd you find out? And Revolution's like, come on now, from me. I know everything. So Laura lays it out just like she laid it out to everybody else. And she's like, look, you're always getting your life threatened. We're here to protect you, but sooner or later, somebody's going to come knocking and they're going to have some big guns with them and it might be a little bit too much. So then Revolution's like, I understand your concern. But hopefully they're not going to Morocco because there are some bad things going on in Morocco. Mainly, they don't like humans. Isn't your son human? Hopefully for your son's sake, you didn't make a grave mistake. So then we cut to Gabby, Dakin, and Alex, and they just got back to their refuge. I mean, you can't really call that a home. Dakin is still hurt because his healing factor really hasn't kicked in. And all of a sudden, Shark Girl shows up with a first aid kit. Haven't seen her since the Dazzler series. And she lets Gabby know that Sage wants to see her. So she goes to see Sage, and Sage is like, hey, Scout, or is it Wolverine now? And Gabby's like, I don't answer any of those names. We're not X-Men anymore. And Sage is like, we're always X-Men. You're damn right. Anyway, the human supercomputer, because that's what Sage is, has been working on a teleporter, and she just got the last bit of it done. Now, this teleporter is pretty much a gate, just like they used to use in Krakoa. So they're going to teleport from where they're at to where there's another gate at, which is probably Morocco. So now Laura wants to get back her kids, especially if Gabby and Dakin are going to go to Morocco. But then she sniffs the air and she sees that Hellion has come to visit. And Laura's like, you've been spying on me, Julian. And Hellion's like, you betrayed Revolution and everything that you claim to stand for, beating with Scout and Fang. I mean, man, I'm calling them by their code names. So Laura puts an elbow to his chest and Prima's like, look, I'm going to tell you this once and once only. Mind your business. So Julian's like, don't get pissed at me just because you hooked up with Creed and you had a normal baby. If you stay with me, we have beautiful mutant babies here everywhere. Pure mutant babies. So then Laura gets close to him and is like, there's something I want to give you, Julian. And he goes, what, my love? My heart is yours. And she's like, it is now. And she stabs him directly into the chest, directly in the heart. So he is dead. Dead.